America's caffeine addiction has deep roots. In 1912, the chief chemist for the USDA warned, "This country is full of tea and coffee drunkards." The US government even sued Coca-Cola for adding caffeine to the drink. Prohibition banned the production and sale of alcohol in 1920. It was a win for the temperance movement. It was also a win for bootleggers, speakeasies, and gangsters who cashed in on black market booze. By 1927, there were twice as many speakeasies in New York as pre-prohibition bars. Marijuana and heroin were all the rage in the bohemian jazz scene of the 1930s. The government created the Federal Bureau of Narcotics to crack down on illegal drugs, and marijuana was officially outlawed in 1937. And reefer madness stoked fears of the evil weed. Doctors started prescribing amphetamines to soldiers returning from World War II to fight combat fatigue, while students and athletes were popping them to increase performance. World War II pilots even received BENZEDRINE in their flight kits. The age of advertising takes off, and ads for Milltown and other sedatives appeal directly to the public. Mother's Little Helper pills were prescribed as a quick fix for anxiety. 1 in 20 Americans were using it. Drugs went mainstream as the era of free love led to young, white, middle-class Americans loosening up with help from marijuana. It's considered the beginning of the modern drug epidemic. Harder drugs like cocaine and heroin became more common as the stigma on drug use eased. Up to 15% of troops in Vietnam used heroin, but President Nixon was going to war.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse.
Cocaine got more popular, and crack cocaine appeared on the scene, as did tough laws that disproportionately targeted minorities. Crack was cheaper than cocaine, but sentences for possession were 100 times harsher. President Reagan launched the Just Say No campaign.
Say no to drugs and say yes to life.
Club drugs like ecstasy fueled the party scene. MDMA let crowds party all night and stoked feelings of connection and euphoria. In 1997, 1 in 16 students entering high school had tried ecstasy. Popping prescription painkillers like oxycodone became easier because of lax prescription tracking laws, especially in Florida. 90 of the top 100 prescribing doctors were operating in the state. The pills made their way north via the Oxy Express. With states cracking down on prescription pills, people turned to heroin for a cheaper and easier high, and a new heroin epidemic quietly takes root. Heroin use has more than doubled in the past decade. HSBC knowingly turned a blind eye to the Sinaloa cartel that was laundering money through its banks, and yet it did purposefully widen some of its